Hi, friends.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome to the Mist, where a bunch of us pals get together and play D&D. So glad you're going to join us tonight. If this is your first time watching the Mist, welcome. Please follow Games Tavern on Twitch. It's free. It supports the show, the cast, and the crew. Remember, you can watch us live on Twitch, and all shows are uploaded to YouTube typically 48 hours later, so you can catch up on anything you may have missed. We're going to get rolling shortly, but first, some announcements.
Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also get free Prime Gaming subscription. Prime Gaming subscribers support everyone on the show and get access to sub-only emotes and to special subscriber-only channel on the Games Tavern Discord.
And tonight, make sure to cheer on your favorite character when they do something awesome. Your bits and cheers show your support for the characters, and we love you, our friends, for your support. Your subs help to support production quality upgrades so that we can make better shows for you.
And a humongous thank you to Shard Tabletop for sponsoring this show. Go to the link in the chat and check it out for yourself. Shard Tabletop is the place to play 5th edition. You can access rules, adventures, other supplements. It also provides digital tools like a character builder, a digital character sheet, as well as all sorts of other tools for your gaming use. We think so highly of it that it's the official VTT of the Games Tavern. And to make this even better, just go to Shard Tabletop link in the chat and use the promo code TGT-SHARD20 to save 20% on all subs.
And tonight, we are giving away an epic character avatar fantasy starter bundle and 3 free packs. So type !epic once you see the notice in chat that the raffle is live, which it is. Must be you need to be a follower to enter. You need to be here, present in the chat for the staff to contact you if you win. And we'll continue to take entries until the end of the stream, and then we'll pick a winner.
All right, and before we get to the show, let's do some introductions. Tell me.
Is it me?
Who's your daddy and what does he do?
Who is your daddy? Hi, I'm Big Daddy Daryl. No. Hi, I'm Daryl Dorsey. I play Berdain Stonebuilt, your Goliath rune fighter.
I'm sorry, I got really excited. He called himself Big Daddy. That means he's Big Kid, Big Daddy Daryl. I'm just the human. I play Bronlin, our tiefling druid.
Hate it.
Hi, I'm Kyle. I am playing Salem Klein, the human inquisitive rogue. Hi, I'm Laura. I'm playing Kura, the human twilight cleric.
I'm Matt Fellman, and I'll be playing the good doctor, the elven artificer alchemist.
And hello, I am regular daddy Bran. I will be your DM for the evening. All right. Who wants to crack open that journal and tell us where we were last time?
Doctor,
Give
me the news.
I believe I'll take the reins on that, if you don't mind. Let's see. Yes. Where were we? Here we are. So, we've actually seemed to have hit an interesting patch of calm in these dread realms, as they were. It seems to be a camp of some sort for youth as they learn outdoorsy experiences. Elven in nature. I personally, when we arrived, wasted no time in setting up the next phase of my secret formula, ale. Though I found out that our large friend here, Berdain, does not imbibe alcohol. Curiouser and curiouser. But we did notice that Bronlin and Salem went off to take a peek at this mystical tree of sorts. It has magical properties, it seems. Bronlin had quite the touching experience with it when they touched it. And we caught them gallivanting, frolicking as they came back. It was very joyous, it seemed. Kira did partake in the ale that I created. She had a very flushed reaction to it, though, but it could be because, Brigane had taken his shirt off again to run off into the woods and be a hunter. So I'll have to give that further investigation. The counselors gathered us together to find out if we could go and see something scary. And when we went into the woods to check out what this scary thing was, it turned out to be a green dragon. So I thought it was fake just for show at first, but it turns out it was actually a real dragon who had set himself up with quite a protection racket, getting artistic pieces from these counselors that run this camp for his protection. When we were heading back to the camp from the woods, we passed the lake, and raising from this lake was a very nude Brigane, washing himself in the lake. Must have been very warm water. But the rest of the party seems to have wanted to join him and bathe as well. I have other business to attend to, but we'll find out what that entails today.
I really appreciate how much of that journal was about your work and your ale construction. Love Doc's priorities. All right.
And I broke Daryl, so that's always a good thing.
You broke him good.
Oh.
As stated, everyone at this point has decided, aside from the doctor, to make their way to the lake to enjoy probably a well-needed bath more than anything else. There's been a lot of viscera and a lot of strange things you've been hit with in this adventure so far, and the opportunity to alleviate yourselves has not really come up till this moment.
Yes, I've as I said before, that I got a few plants that I know that can be used as soaps and deodorants, so I can, mostly it's for the child to get clean for once if she's going to be playing with the other children. I don't want her to be the smelly kid in camp.
Point of clarification, I thought that you mentioned that everyone was bathing in the pond and that she was like, oh, you didn't tell me that there's a pond.
Mm-hmm.
No, she said, oh, I thought you were going to make me take a bath in a bathtub. She was very keen on the idea of just being able to go swimming and also take a bath.
But mostly swimming.
But I will make sure to watch her before she gets to have full fun.
All right. As I believe, Brigade, you're returning to the lake, or is everyone?
I was returning to the lake with. Wow, I forgot the child's name.
Casimir.
Casimir. Yeah.
As who? What?
I play an incredible amount of TTRPGs, you guys. All right.
You Gizmo. Yeah. All right.
The right notes.
I was headed down to the lake with some cooked rabbit meat and most of my clothes already folded up under one arm. And I believe Ronan was coming alongside me.
I am just yapping your ear off right now, Salem. Again, the dragon, it's a bit funky, but I really do think that you're going to like camp.
As long as we stay away from each other, keep an eye on the sky. Sure. Like I said, I'll give it my best shot. I'm gonna stop not too terribly far from the shore, and I'm gonna look around to see if there's anywhere that I might be able to have a little bit of privacy. Not like I'm not looking for like an alcove or anything, but like tall grass or something like that.
Sure. Yeah, you can find a little ways down. There's just, that sudden brush of reeds and water oats where it does, build yourself a bit of a barrier.
Okay. Brother, not to dampen the mood or anything, but if you wouldn't mind, I would like to take care of things over there by myself, just for a little bit. I'll come back to join y'all here in just a few minutes.
I give him a nod. I assume that Regain and Casimir are pretty close by now.
Yeah, we were already over there.
Okay. Yeah. I take off my shirt, take off my pants, and I run up to Regain and right now, will you throw me in? This is the best part.
I'm mid brushing gunks of stuff out of Casimir's hair. Just
I take her out and I throw her in and I say, right now me.
You sure?
Casimir does that wide arm flailing in the brief moment of air before hitting the water.
Can I make an athletics check to see how far the air I toss them?
Absolutely.
It's only a 9. It's a very lackluster, just like a right underneath the shoulders, just lifting you up very, very casually, and it's casual for him. It's just I'm sure it's probably way too high for what you're probably comfortable with.
I tuck my knees to my chest and I wrap myself and I cannonball and I yell it as loud as possible. Right, cannonball! And then there's a splash.
I think to myself, at least, but okay, I didn't get naked on purpose in front of everyone. That one was just way too exciting.
I have underwear on.
Oh, okay. I was just okay.
I am off kind of to the left and just kind of watching this in my periphery as I take off all my armor, and I actually work on scrubbing at that a little bit first. And then I do the same thing as Salem. I look for something a bit concealing, but other than that, I really have no qualms. Just kind of take it all off and get in the water because I had a lot of stuff stuck in that armor.
I think if anything, you'll see me coming back, and shirtless. All I've got on are my trousers, and I'll have how you normally have the rib cage wrappings, except it's over my shoulder where only Kura would know is where the tattoo is, so it's covering that up. But I'll probably see you looking for space, and just a few yards beyond that little crest over there. Will do you just fine if you're looking for someplace a little more private.
I appreciate it. And I'll head that way, but I probably won't go in as deep into it as Salem did. I'm just more concerned about getting in the water.
I do not get in the water as I've already bathed.
I kind of swim over to the side and splash water up at you, and I yell out, Regain, come on, mate. This is fun.
I already went swimming. But, well, I already bathed myself. That was the only reason I went in there.
But this is the fun part of camp.
You keep... What? What?
Why does no one like camp?
I feel like there is a
Disconnect.
Good. Thank you. Thank you. There's a disconnect here because camping for me is for survivor's sake. It was never done for. There were fun parts. It was bonding with my father, but it was him teaching me how to survive, not just to have fun.
Right, well, I can teach you how to have fun, and you can teach me and Casimir how to survive.
I know.
Casimir's currently dog paddling.
I know how to
next to Bronlin.
I know how to have fun. You've never played goat ball, so I don't know what you would consider to be fun.
Well, what if you taught us how to play goat ball after this?
I look at the other children and then I spy the one that called me big kid earlier. Oh, I could do that.
Hey,
the kid, we're gonna say it was Andy. I can't remember if Andy was the one who called you big kid originally.
It was not Andy.
It wasn't Andy. Okay.
Andy was the one that was he was like
almost fell out and
basically Andy became my little mini me essentially.
That's right.
Copying me. The one that I caught, we never gave him a name. He called me Big Kid, and he's been on my list.
All right. Well, that kid, since you have not received his name yet, you see in the distance he's currently with a long stick sort of pointing at what might be a bee's nest into the tree line.
I don't know why, but I don't like that child. Everything about that child seems like so wrong to me.
So we're getting.
No, what the hell did you come from?
I've walked up. I've been here. Anyway, I saw what you did with Bronlin. Bronlin, that's this fun, right?
Right.
Do you want me to throw you?
I made a promise.
I have been wanting to actually throw you in a fight. I've been wanting to throw you with your knives out. I wanted to throw you like I throw a spear.
Hold on. We're not at that point yet.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm just for later. I wanted to throw you like a spear with your knives out. And then you can climb up something. It's gonna be reserved for something big.
Okay. All right. But first, let's just do the water.
Yeah, let me make the athletic check.
Like a practice run.
That is 15. I throw you so much further and higher than. It is evident that I've been wanting to throw you.
I think like so. It in my mind, what it is like I'm like you have your hand and I climb kind of up to where your shoulder is, and you put your hand under where my feet are, and we do like the combined launch.
Yep.
And
I shot put you.
Pretty much.
I come out of the reeds to watch this.
The Salem shout out can opener as he comes back down.
No, I think it's more of like because in the wilds there's there are a couple like waterfalls and things like that, maybe not like super tall, but with his brothers and sisters they've dove off of the side of like small cliffs into the water before, and so he's more of like a how do I do this so that I don't hurt myself, and it's more into like a swan dive kind of thing, where it's like the pencil and like straight in, maybe not perfect form, but it's clean.
I give that a 7. Anyone else, judges?
What?
I give that a rating of 7.
Because he jumped in the water?
Oh my god. And I just shake my head and kind of push Casimir towards you so she can get a jump in.
I then look at I look at Casimir. I'm just, how far along did I get in making sure that she was clean, at least?
I kind of
I'm gonna say at
give
least
her the sniff touch.
say at least half her hair is meat free.
Okay, before I do that, I'm going to clean the rest of your hair because you're getting bits everywhere. So I could say, I'll toss you much higher than I did him. So much higher.
Still at a doggy paddle to keep the head above the water.
I'm like holding her.
Oh, that works too.
I'm like palming her in one head, just.
She's got the horns. The horns. You have a handle if you just need to.
And then occasionally, I've been doing it by the waist. Then occasionally, just in the water. Okay. Oh no. 25.
Oh god, you're gonna kill her.
Oh, you're still in the middle of the lake, and I just see like this pinprick coming out of the sky.
Launched into the sun.
See that? Or it's like the skipping stone where she's like bouncing off the water across the.
Oh no. Oh.
You still prepped for throwing a Salem. When you do grab Kaiser. It's a pretty far fling into the deeper waters of the lake.
My hand's still up after I do it. Kobe.
I'm gonna make my way over to where she's gonna be landing because I feel like I have almost a clean minute before she even hits the surface.
I'm going to prepare one of my runes.
Just to be over there to help her back from the deep end.
Yes.
The water is still. The water is quiet. I had that ripple, and it's still for just long enough for you to be just a little uncomfortable. And you see these small red hands pull out from the water, and this excited drowned rat face. Like the water coming out the nose as begins to paddle back to the group.
I'll probably make my way over to her and give her a shoulder to like grab hold of.
Yeah, she reaches out and grabs on.
Mm-hmm. Side stroke on my way back. You went pretty deep, didn't you?
Again, a little bit of snot and water. And
so
we're gonna do it again.
So towels. Does everyone need? I'm gonna go get towels now.
Can you actually bring back some more of the it's not soap, but whatever you were rubbing on Kiz?
You don't. Oh, you do need to learn how to survive. And then I just bring it out of my pocket that I was using. Okay, so this is for washing yourself. It's very good. It will lather up very nicely. And this one is to help you keep from smelling when you sweat too much. So
right. Thank you.
Apply that and share it with others if they want it.
And I assume like Salem is probably pretty close now, but I kind of look and hold it up and then look back to where he already was and say, you probably don't need any of this, do you?
I just got ready to join y'all. I hadn't really done anything in that minute or two. I still need to wash my clothes. I'm good without the soap. I actually need to find a live flower around here somewhere so that I can. There's a particular type of oil that live flower gives off that actually cleans clothes really well. So I was actually going to go find some. Unless, Brigade, did you happen to see any?
What type were you looking for?
The live flower, the one used for cleaning clothes.
Did I?
Absolutely, you did.
Yeah, this is okay. Cool. Thank you for not making me roll that.
Yeah, that one right there.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I got this one. I also have some soap root.
Yeah.
It's a real root, by the way. Soap root is used for soaps. I give it to Rudland to share with everyone who wishes to wash themselves.
Thanks, Brigade. Appreciate you, mate.
I want to do a quick check-in on the doctor. Doctor, what are you up to currently?
Okay, well, the doctor is actually standing. I'm standing maybe nearish the camp, watching them and all that they're doing from a distance. And Corvex is on my shoulder, and I'm watching, and I'm like, Helena would have loved this. All right, we have work to do. And I'll turn and head to my tent. I'll flip it open to vent the vapors that have built up in there. And there's just a big waft of smoke comes out of there. Ooh, let it brew a little too long. Corvex actually flies off my shoulder and up onto the top of the tent. Nope, not going in. It's okay, you don't have to. And I'll go in and start pouring some stuff, and I'm focused really hard on trying to remember something, the formula, and just trying different stuff. If I see like a kid walk by, I'll be like, "You, come here."
I'm gonna say one will oblige, walk over. Out of curiosity, kind of in the scope, they saw all the plumes and smoke comes from the tent.
Here, taste this. Does it taste like candy?
Yeah, little boy, I got some candy for you.
In what form are you offering this? Is it like a drink? Is it like a?
It's a
sour
drink.
ball? Okay.
It's just like a little swish of something in the bottom of this.
White channel tent.
It does not taste like candy.
I was gonna say we're making white lightning in there, just doing the moonshine still. Kid, like the moment this liquid touches the lips,
No.
that hand back and the shake and the clear away from you, sort of.
That's fair. And I'll go back in. Damn.
How many potato skins did you go through to make whatever you're making?
Corbex actually leans down and hangs from his feet on the straps that tie the tent flaps up, and just hanging upside down, flapping his wings around, making a racket. What? Oh, you want to play, huh? All right, fine. And I set down some stuff. And I turn around. I'm gonna get you. No! And I tussle with him a little bit. Yeah, and that's all he'd be doing right now, just playing with his bird and trying his strange brews.
I like this life. All right, back to the lake. Oh,
one thing I will do, I just remembered, I pull out the dagger that Salem had given him and put it down on the table. Where's that? Pull some different brews down. Look at them. Yeah, I think this is it. I start pouring it all over the blade and rubbing it in, and then I take a whetstone and I work it right in with into the blade itself. Yeah, that should. And I run it over the open flame that I have in my tent, and dry it up real nice. Yeah, this should work.
You have a lot of faith in this tent.
No, but all right, that should be ready very soon, and I'll put that down and go back to the rest of my work.
All right, very good.
As for my own notes, you can only do a +1 weapon to one weapon at a time, correct?
Right, yours.
Okay. That's fine. I'm just removing it from my inventory. I'm just changing it out.
It just loses that lustrous glow and it becomes just a regular glaive.
Yeah, it's fine.
As long as you're not poisoning his milk anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's not get too ahead of ourselves.
I would have figured that would have been the first clue that Brigade didn't drink, considering everyone's drinking mead, and he's just like, give me milk and water.
Sure thing, BK.
Back to our swimmers at the lake.
So I come out of the reeds and I make my way over to where Bronlin is. Probably Salem's over there too. I'm kind of trying to make sure I'm staying kind of up to shoulder level, just for propriety's sake, I guess. But I'm after some of the soap root. And when I come over, you all may notice two things in specific. That I have a lot more hair than you might have thought before. And the black stripe that I usually have beneath my lip going down my chin is gone. But the Star of Sulune in the middle of my forehead is not. Ronan, can I have some of that?
Of course. Actually, would you mind getting like the very small of my back? I hurt my shoulder and I can't really get back there. Will you just?
Course. What did you do to your shoulder?
Oh, just a game of rough and tumble when I was a kid, and I didn't get it mended properly. Just nothing big.
Oh, so it's an old injury, and I start getting at that particular spot.
Old injuries die hard sometimes, unfortunately. Just that was the way it went. Didn't think anything of it. Thought it would just go away, and now, I only can do so much with this shoulder. It's fine.
So long as it's fine.
And I give the rest of the soap over to Kura.
And that done, I start lathering it up a bit, and I kind of side-eye Bronlin, and I say, "What's been with all the looks?"
Kind of look around at the guys, at Casimir. Say, what do you mean, what's been with all the looks?
I think you know what I mean.
And, my skin is, reddish brown, but, you definitely see, more red come up on my cheeks. I say, well, I mean, you've seen him.
Yes, I have.
And I mean, and you could like tell that I'm like very getting into like the gossipy or the, are you gonna say it, or do I need to say it? And if Kura doesn't say anything, I mean, he's an attractive person, and I mean, you're like, maybe we get out of here, maybe we don't. But I see relationships forming, and you know, maybe it's friendship and maybe it's more. But you two just have like this very like big chemistry. And I can't be the only one that sees it.
Remember when I said we've only known each other some days?
Yes.
That's still true. That does feel like quite a long time now, doesn't it?
It really does. It feels like I've known you all for years, which is wild to say because we literally, it's been what, 5-6 days?
Something like that.
I feel like I know nothing about you all, but I also feel like I know everything about you all.
Circumstances bind in strange ways, yes. I'm not going to deny that Brigane is eye-catching. It is a weakness. I appreciate the good physical form, but I also appreciate, you know, a sharp mind, an attractive voice. It's... I don't know.
Well, if you ever need to gab, you know who to come to.
Yes. Well, I have a feeling we're going to be stuck together for a while, so we will see what comes of what.
Yeah, to be honest, I really thought like the first day of being at Starfall was going to be a last day together. You know,
Yes.
I thought like, to be honest, I actually thought it was a dream. And then I woke up about 5 or 6 times after that. And now I'm just kind of accepting this. They say, you know, just kind of go with the flow. And I think for the first time in my life, I'm just kind of going with it.
I would agree with you mostly in principle, except I feel very much like we are being used as pawns on somebody's chessboard.
I think, is that Poisoner Man?
No.
Absolutely.
No. The mists are alive. When we got pulled here, I heard them speak.
Like they were speaking to you.
Yes, because the mist came over the ship and I was furious that it was going to happen again, and I asked just to the air, "What do you want with us?" And I heard it answer, "In due time."
You just see like a horror coming over my face. And I kind of look around, and if Brigane and Salem and Casimir are like still here, I just kind of like just check to make sure I can see them and that they're okay.
Oh, I went to get towels. I'm not there.
Okay. Well.
Yeah, Casimir hasn't left your side. She's been just hanging on your arm.
I was gonna ask, can I roll investigation to see if I can find towels?
You can roll an investigation.
Natural 2.
Natural 2.
So
thankfully,
so it's an unnatural 1.
Dirty 1.
I see what Kura says about
if you stand out. Thankfully, you stand out in the field. As you're glancing around to possibly think where towels would be hidden, you see one of the counselors approaching you. Now that he is out of the cart, you can tell he is a satyr. And he does have a stack of towels in one hand and a leather bottle in the other. And he, approaches your direction.
Enta. That's what I believe his name was. It was Enta, right?
Anta, that's correct.
Yep. Yeah, I remember some people's names. I got to the page with the camp counselor's names on it. Sorry.
She's been in the campaign for like 6 episodes.
Clearly, she wasn't as important as Anta.
I have to.
Santa's great. Let's be honest.
I have to. Okay. I understand the towels. What's in the bottom?
He smiles warmly. I thought you all might be a bit thirsty. Hands it over to you and puts the stack of towels towards your other hand.
What? Is it water?
Just a fruit juice.
Right, like just fruit juice, correct?
Just fruit juice.
Okay, there's a child over there.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of fruit juice?
Oh, just from the area. A little of this, little of that.
Is it fruit punch?
I would call it that. Such, sure.
Okay. Thank you.
Have fun. Be safe. And if you need anything, you know where to find me. You don't know where to find me.
I don't know.
He makes his way away.
No,
Does not elaborate.
No.
I'm assuming in one of the cabins they said that for some reason we can't do whatever. I don't care.
You have to earn that right. As he makes his way back.
Why does everyone?
You gotta leave it, it's fine.
Kind of does a little click of the heels, jump, and makes his way back towards the cabin.
I want it to vote. And I walk. I whisper it to myself. I whisper that to myself. And I walk over to where everyone else, and I put the towels down the drier portion so that everyone can grab one on the way out. And I say, one of the counselors gave us fruit juice. I myself am not going to drink it. And I place it next to the towels.
Yeah, I might have some a little later.
I try not to take drinks from strangers. The doctor compounded that portion of my life.
There are none stranger.
Understandably.
Also, compounded is my word of the day.
Well, good word.
Kaz is immediately reaching up for the bottle.
I spoil you.
Casman, would you mind if I borrowed your clothes real quick and get the scent of that dragon off you? Not good to keep that scent around.
Yeah, you all never elaborated, so there's a dragon you're talking about.
Yeah.
Elaborated is
take a bowl from this bottle and went over to peel her ripe clothes off the bank.
Yeah. As I'm cleaning out, yeah. So there's a green dragon about maybe a mile or so up off in the woods. I'm not a fan of dragons per se. So most of them are not exactly on my good list. They seem to bring favors to this dragon to show Lasmith, to what they called him, off to the new kids. He seemed appeased for the moment, but knowing dragons, that could change on a dime.
Bran,
Yes.
in my travels, both as a treasure hunter and then my further travels as a ne'er-do-well, would I have at least learned the most minuscule information about the different types of dragons outside of dragon turtles, which I would assume I know intimately?
I think it's a given you know them quite well.
Yes.
Give me a quick nature.
Nature. It's an intelligence thing that I don't have a negative in.
Hey,
I have a few of those. I always say Brigade's not dumb, he just knows what he knows.
selected.
That was a bad roll. That was a 6. That's a total of 6.
A total of 6.
Yep.
I'm gonna say you would know the very basics, in the sense of, you know, who is chromatic, who is metallic. Metallic you trust, chromatic you dodge. So
That's
to the extent of, if you saw a dragon, you could probably figure out
that's
what kind of
legitimately
situation.
That's you being a nice DM, because honestly, that's all I needed to know. I wanted to know the bare minimum: these good, these bad.
Yeah.
The green one, you say. Okay, so that is a chromatic. So that is not a good, as history would tell us, I would say.
Well, again, not the biggest fan of dragons.
True, true.
But yes, as I've heard,
As far as the more, and I look to see if Cora's listening, and then I whisper, malevolent. And I whisper, malevolent goes.
No, you had that right.
No, I know words. My mother taught me to read at a very young age. Sometimes I get a stutter, but Kura thinks I don't know what words I use. So
I think it's more of a recognizing that you might not, like, you think maybe malevolent isn't quite the right word, but me absolutely correcting on no, that is exactly the right word to describe them.
Yeah, I got I got that. I was just going into
okay.
He's not an unperceptive or insightful person. He got what you were doing there. It's like, no, I know big words. I just don't like using them. So I tend to stutter on some of them. But yes, the chromatic ones tend to be the ones you want to watch more than the others.
Say it doesn't exactly give me peace knowing that
We're in the realm of it.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
It's not sleep's not gonna come easy. With that said, Ronan and I, well, we plan on looking over the tree over there a bit more. We think maybe that'll give us a little more insight as to what's going on around here.
What was over there, by the way?
A
Besides
lot of
the
unanswered,
gigantic tree.
a lot of unanswered questions. As I got over there, everything got a lot more verdant. The The lush foliage just seemed to grow as I walked on it. Hard to describe, but it seemed to be something of a pool of magical energy. As we approached the tree, we noticed that it was covered in markings. Something I couldn't quite make out, but I think maybe Bronwyn will be able to shed some light on it. But it's going to take a while.
Do you want to deal with the tree first before, let's be honest, we have to deal with the dragon? Given how our luck has been going as of late, we always have to deal with something big before we get out of one of these places.
Well, so far we've been running away from the evil we know. At least, I think in that regard, it's comforting that we know something about the Green Dragon. This tree... I don't like unanswered questions, let's put it that way.
Understandable.
May not...
Do you want me to throw you in the water again?
You know, I do. Let me finish up the clothes.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then I'm gonna make my way over to Kura and Bronwyn. Would you all mind if I don't want the dragon knowing our scent. Would you mind if I just gathered up your clothes? Regain gave me too much for the life flower, and I don't. There's still some left. I could clean y'all's clothes. I'll hang them up.
I think mine could probably use another go over. Sure.
Dipping into the water, so like it's basically just my head. I kind of nod over and kind of point over there to my clothes. I can go and get them, or they're just like right over there.
No. It's fine. I got them. I'll gather them up and then I'll place them on the line. And I'll just get some rope and I'll hang them up and they should be dry in no time.
Thanks so much. And did I see? Was that Regain with the towel?
There's a stack of towels right here, next to a gigantic thing of fruit juice.
Yeah, something that one of the counselors brought up.
Yes, enter the Seta.
Yeah, well, Casimir had some. Couldn't quite stop her from taking it. She seems to love the stuff. Y'all are welcome to it. There should be plenty for everyone.
And do we know what kind of fruit it is?
Just from... He said that fruit from around camp. I noticed a few things when I was out hunting the rabbits. And a few of them were in the basket I gave to the doctor. They seem to be non-poisonous. That was a joke. They're not poisonous.
I give like a chuckle at that, and then right? Is he's not around here like terrorizing little children with ale, is he?
Oh, the doctor?
Yeah.
No, the doctor didn't give me that. Enter gave me that.
I know, but yesterday. Oh, you want that? So yesterday he was giving children ale.
Oh, he tried to give me ale too. I don't drink though, so.
And why? I mean, well, question for a different time.
You can always ask me. I don't like to lie.
And I kind of just. I mean, why not?
This seems like okay.
All right, I'm going to ask a quick question and then we're going to go on break. Salem, have you cleaned your armor yet? Specifically the leather armor?
I was saving that for last.
Fair enough. All right. Thus, my question portion of this ends. We're going to take a quick break. Yeah. Do we have any announcements before time, or shall we return with those?
Let me scroll.
Let me scroll.
Uh,
That's my first day.
I'll start. Hey,
Yeah, we do.
friends, don't forget, we still have the Epic Character Avatar Fantasy Starter Bundle. Please, in the chat, just do yourself a favor. Try saying that 3 times fast. It's pretty hard. You'll also get 3 free packs. Type !epic, that's EPIC, into the Twitch chat to enter. We're going to be raffling this off at the end. Don't forget, you have to be following the Games Tavern and you have to be present in this Twitch to win. So don't go anywhere.
Also, the Games Tavern Patreon is a great way to support the show and get useful perks and awesome content. The latest updates include early access to the interviews from the Games Tavern Happy Hour, miniature paint plans from that Mini's Paint Show, and battle maps and plug-in encounters in your games. Just go to patreon.com/thegamestavern, all one word, and get your hands on this amazing content. So recognition of our regular Patreon supporters, Veritas23, Rose, Maths Productions, Michael B., and Christopher D. Thank you for all your patronage and support.
All right. And with that, we'll be back in just a few minutes. All right, we are back. On to the discussions and the bathing and the washing of things. Probably sounded creepier than it meant to be.
If I'm going to say this, I'll say it to everyone. So all of you want to come closer. Because Brigade has still refused to get in the water after he's already bathed himself. He just kind of sits down next to the stack of towels and stuff.
I go and on the shoreline.
So, the night I was born, actually, there was a terrible storm. So much so that they thought the island would sink underneath the waves. The shamans of my village, which actually have their magics remind me a lot of your brother, your magic. They did their best to try to control the storm. But it wasn't until my mother gave birth to me that the storm fully broke. And the shamans believe that all of the rage and the power of the storm went into me when I was born. And that essentially I would always be filled with the rage and the power of that storm. And if anything ever happened that would cause me to lose myself, I would become as terrible as that. Which is why I don't drink, why I fight so well. I had to have something to occupy my time, something to focus my mind, so that I would not allow certain things to get to me.
I see.
If you were to get like that, did the shamans give you any sort of insight as to some sort of fail-safe there might be to quell that raging storm?
No. For the most part, I've kind of worked out my own system. About 4 years ago, I was very close. But I helped. Yes, Brandon, I did not mean to cut you off. Sorry.
No, I was just don't even remember what I was going to say. Thank you. I mean, I feel like I know you a little bit better. I feel like that's something that we could all tend to do. Maybe this is perfect. I mean, we're at camp, and this is how people bond. Maybe this is exactly the place that we're supposed to be. Bonding happens at camp, and then I look specifically at Salem and I say, and bonding happens around the campfire.
Also, did any of you try to go down to the bottom? It's very deep.
Went down at least a few yards.
Like that?
Couldn't quite see the bottom.
If I remember correctly, Brad, you said there was like caves and alcoves the further you went down, correct?
Correct.
Like there are caves and really like there are places for exploration if you have the ability to hold your breath.
It's been a really long time since I've held my breath and timed it. But I've got somewhere between a minute to 2 minutes. How far did you go down?
Not very far. I know I can hold my breath for at least 3 minutes. I had to once.
I kind of hush my voice and look around so no camp counselors are around us, and I say, they said this was going to be 2 weeks. Are we staying for the full time, or are we just searching for the totem and then leaving?
Yes, that part.
Well, that or the mists will come back on their own time.
I feel like we all know what that totem definitely is, though, but we just kind of been avoiding it.
The dragon.
Yes. The last time we found one, it was a demon, a demon's horn. So why would it not be in a dragon's horn?
I have a different theory. Well, suppose that the energy that we felt from him, suppose that was something else. I think it would be unwise to attach ourselves to the idea that the dragon had the totem before we knew anything else about anything else around here.
Agreed.
Perhaps finding what's below the tree, and this is a stretch, but if one of those caves leads down there, that might gain us some insight.
And I kind of look at Salem and I whisper, I thought we weren't going to tell anyone about the tree until we had found out. But I mean, if we're talking about it now with the group.
Not to raise alarms. Didn't think there was, I still don't believe that there's anything malevolent about it. I just think that it would be unwise to leave people in the dark, especially about something about this right now. And I apologize for breaking that. But I didn't want to raise any alarms. That's all.
Were you whispering that, or were you saying it like loud enough for Kura and Brigane?
Well, I mean, I'd imagine like if you were doing like the whisper and they were right there in front of us, they probably saw that.
Yeah, this was right after story time with Brigade was done.
Yeah. So if Kura wasn't over there, at the very least, Brigade was.
You were literally like this, as I remember it correctly.
I turned and whispered. Right. So anyway, Kura.
It was a reciprocating noise level, whatever was. Yeah.
Right. Well, anyway, here's the thing. That tree is very interesting, and I touched it, and I felt like I was reminded of when my brother and I were learning the ways of the druid, and so we're just going to investigate and, see what there is.
Druid. That's another word for the shamans. That is why your magic is similar.
Well, I can assure you, I am definitely not a shaman.
But that's just what we call them. But I believe in other cultures they're referred to as druids. Nature is what they do.
Yes.
Hence them controlling a storm.
And do you feel content enough going near this tree without the rest of us, just in case?
Well, Salem was kind of going to like keep watch and hold up a lantern. We were actually going to wait until it got a little bit darker.
It didn't seem, to borrow your word earlier, Regain, it didn't seem malevolent. It just seemed a certain power source. And being that Bronwyn had a certain connection to that. Again, they're questions. Nothing good, nothing bad, just unanswered questions.
All right. Well, I think that because we're going to be looking for answers for these questions and many more, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go reclaim all my clothes and such, and I'm going to rest, or I'm going to be useless to you all as something happens.
Brigade hands you a towel and it starts looking away.
I will come out of the water and take the towel. I'm kind of smirking at the same time. And I grab it. Thank you, Brigane.
I look at Brigane. I look at Kura. I look at Salem. And there's just a coy little smile on my face.
Corey, I hung up your clothes. I don't think they're quite dry yet. They should be fine if you wanted to just head back to the tent. I can take them over to you when we're done.
I'll either do that or I'll go wait with them because I do want to check on the doctor, but not in just a towel.
Are you covered yet?
Yes.
Okay. Is everyone else staying, or are they going now?
Well, I share this with Cora, in the spirit of informing the others, you all. I have this, and I removed the bandage that's covering my dragon mark. And it looks kind of like a script A, sort of on the side, almost kind of like an arrowhead. It's a brand. My family, we're, in layman's terms, paid enforcers. We're told what needs to be done. We decide how it gets to be done, but we make sure that it is done. I am a member of the Clan Thrash. And should you see anyone bearing this mark, they would probably be either human or orc. That would be my kin. Most likely they'd be orc. The orc would, well, let's say they make up most of the pure blood of the family. Thankfully, they don't see it that way. My brothers and sisters are good folk. They're loyal. They're driven. But unfortunately, they need to lead and live by the word of our elders. And I did something that upset a lot of people. I can disclose that at a later time, but suffice it to say, I am no longer welcome among my fathers, my mothers, and most of the clan at large. It's really a toss-up if we see someone else bearing my mark, whether they would be friend or foe.
How would you prefer us to react if they are foe?
Non-lethally, ideally.
Oh, I can.
But they would not be so kind. As indicated earlier, I had a pretty Spartan upbringing. And, well, my family doesn't exactly know the meaning of restraint.
Oh, so just leave them alive. Oh, yes, I can do that. A life but missing an arm is still a life.
I will say, if you're looking for some sort of weak spot or something like that, this thing hurts like hell. Always does. Burns as though the iron were still pressed to my skin. But you get used to it. Find some ways to remind them of that pain, they'll shy away.
Brigade just stares at Gut Rot, which is right in front of his lean-to, like in the sand. I mean, not in the sand, just in the ground. It's like, yeah, I can probably. But that's if we come across it.
I like go to put my hand on your shoulder, and then I switch hands midway to not touch the mark, and I just kind of give you a nod.
Thank you.
Little one, you're getting pruny. Get out of the water.
Yeah.
Right, can we just have one more round of tossing? Just one. Quick succession.
Okay, I'll roll 3 athletics checks.
While this is going on, I do wander off to where my clothes are. And because it's easy to do right now, while sitting and waiting for them to dry, I take a good look at the mark on my arm.
First athletics check was 24. Second one was a nat 1 for a total of 7. The third was 25.
So who's gonna eat the sand?
The child will get the gentle one.
So you're just gonna drop Casimir?
Oh, you're gonna make me drop him on a skill check? Ah, oh, man, I almost killed this kid. It's very gentle. Can we just say I do it very gently?
Yes, that's fair.
She ate a 20. This little child, this little baby, ate a 25 from a 18th strength Goliath right now.
I'll narrate what I do, but I'll let Laura find out about her mark, or Kara find out about the mark.
Yes. I just wanted to get the rolls out of the way, so.
Unfortunately, it looks unchanged. Even after the scrub, you don't see any rays or bumps in your skin as if it was, done like as a tattoo or as a burn or any of that. There's nothing elevating or giving it any sort of texture. It looks like it may have always been.
I wasn't really expecting it to look changed at all. I just hadn't really taken a good long look at it. So I'm wondering if there's anything new I notice about it.
Give me a religion.
Okay. Hmm. 11.
11. Staring at the symbols, staring at it long enough, you realize you may have seen variations of this language in your studies and in your past. Definitely not enough to be able to read it, but your positive part of it is referencing either light or brightness. But you don't understand any context further than what you think it might say there.
Well, that's something at least. And I'll just be there until my things are dry and get them back on and go back to the tents. I'm going to check on the doctor.
I'm going to say that Casimir's grabbed about 2 or 3 of the towels and just sort of draped over and bounds after you towards the tents.
Oh, were those extra towels the towels for me in Salem?
Better hope not.
After the whole like throw session, okay, well, hold on. So, if I can take my throw first, would that be all right?
Go for it.
Okay. So, I think this time I'm looking at Regain, and I sort of get crouched down a little bit, just a little smidge there, and so I find a little bit of a crest at the shoreline, and I'll just sprint towards him to jump up to like this big flat palm to do the same thing again, but this time having much more forward momentum.
I kneel down as I know you cannot jump 9 feet in the air, so I'm kneeling down.
That's what the getting down is about.
Okay.
But this also will include like all of that leg strength now too, not just like the and so I do the same dive position, but instead of doing the belly arc to pull myself back up to the surface, I stay going downwards just to see if I can see where the cave that he was talking about, where roughly that might be. Not that I'm looking too terribly hard. I'm not going to stay down there too long. But after a quick looking around, come back up.
With this maneuver, given that the water definitely is very, very clear, you're definitely able to see a bit towards the northern center that it seems to be just this darker area within. So as far as your assumption there, you think you have a pretty good idea, maybe not well into a cave, but simply where the deeper point of this lake would be.
Okay. All right. If I come back to the shoreline and I see only one towel, I am just going to shake myself dry, and I'll leave that for Bronwyn. Like a dog.
Okay, Orlin, it's your turn.
Just if you could just do the same thing. I just want to go straight up and then straight down.
Put your feet together.
And I put my feet together.
Arms at your side.
And I put my arms at my side.
I put my hand about both your ankles and use one of your arms as a handle and just.
And you hear until. And after a while, I get to the surface. It was so much fun. I can't wait to do this again tomorrow.
I pick up the towel and hand it to you. I also look away again.
Grab the towel, kind of put it around me. Would the cantrip shape water work to like dry myself, Bran?
I know prestidigitation would allow that.
It says you instantaneously move or otherwise change the flow of water as you direct up to 5 feet in any direction. Doesn't force damage.
Every bit of moisture off of you.
Yeah.
I'm sweaty. No, I'm not.
I'll allow it.
Perfect. As soon as I get to my clothes, I also dry them. And the clothes around, might as well.
All right. You are able to just pull the moisture out of the fabrics and off yourself and just sort of just drop it to the side. It's just a nice little light splash on the ground.
If Andy is around, I definitely put it onto Andy.
Andy's not around.
Andy's the nice one.
So?
Andy's the one I like. It's the one that called me big kid that I'm gonna was gonna get pantsed.
The other kid is currently looking towards the Brigane's lean-to, just kind of eyeballing the blade just a little bit, not touching it.
Oh, I hope he touches the actual blade. Let him touch the actual blade so his skin starts to freaking melt off. Let it happen. I'm walking back that way now that everyone's out of the water, by the way. So do I definitely see this kid?
Oh, yeah.
By the way, just so my glaive was with me that entire time we were at the water.
I would expect
entire time. That is my safety blanket. I just kind of walk up to while the kid is looking at it. And I just crisscross applesauce right in front of the lean-to. Do you have a affinity for swords?
Shakes his head.
Do you want to learn how to fight?
No.
Then I don't recommend you touch these. As I gesture and gut right. I took these from a demon. It always has a little bit of liquid pouring out of it. And if you touch it, and you don't know how to fight, it burns your skin away until you have nothing left but bones. And then I grab it by the hilt. So, see, I know how to fight. That does not hurt me. But you, I don't think you would make it back home if you touched it.
Shakes his head no in agreement with your every word.
Go play.
Okay. Sprints away.
Traumatizing this 30-year-old child.
The words you say made sense somehow. This 30-year-old child.
Checks out.
He's older than me.
So, Robin, did you have anything else that you wanted to do camp related, or should we get to work on the tree?
I mean, there's always time for more camp later. We should get started on the tree.
Yeah.
At this point, it's looking to be probably late afternoon, coming towards evening.
Has daylight savings time happened? Is it 5 p.m. and super ridiculously dark?
You have no earthly idea exactly what time it is. Just like.
Bronwyn, I forgot to mention, when I mentioned holding the lantern, I guess it was me not trying to assume anything. I don't exactly need the lantern at night, if you understand my meaning. Part of my upbringing was being able to catch things just as well in the dark as in the light. My eyes have been trained as such. Are you able to do the same?
I give a nod.
So, my sharing of our activities with the rest of our group, I apologize, but I had something of a change of heart. I think letting them know what we're doing is good. It's the smart move, letting the rest of the pack know, right? However, a measure of caution against maybe the counselors wouldn't be so ill-advised, and I think maybe a light in the darkness near this tree would be just the thing that might bring them running. I'm not sure if that would. It's just a gut feeling.
I mean, yeah, you do make a point. This camp is weird, especially after the dragon. I think maybe I don't know. Maybe you stand watch, but yeah, maybe no light. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We should be still okay. Just sort of doing a thing for now. I'll be over here with you. But once night comes, I'll be more vigilant. And unless you have anything else to say, what I'm going to be doing is re-inspecting my netting for the hammock that I made, and then I'm going to look over my new interesting green armor.
What are you doing to your armor?
So it wasn't perfectly fitting. I just hadn't had the chance to really set all the straps how they needed to be. So at first it's refitting how that, like with the tightness of those, making sure I can notch that, and then looking over the design a little bit more, checking the edges. Not breaking it in, but like familiarizing myself with if there are any like structural weaknesses or anything like that.
As far as on the outside, it's difficult to tell. Again, this does look like in a way that it was fished out of an ocean. So it's definitely scaled over. You've got some very coral, pieces kind of resting upon it. Again, you can barely see a bit of design that might be carved into.
Okay.
But there doesn't seem to be, even looking from the inside at this point, there doesn't seem to be any particular weak spots that you can spot. There's no tears or something that looks like it was re-riveted together. It seems to be solid.
So if that's the case, the only thing that I would be doing then is just trying to remove some of the not like a huge barnacle just sitting on the side, but if there is any growth or anything like that, just sort of removing it.
How are you going about that?
Just using my knife, see if I can get like under like one of whatever these are.
You're just using your blade to try to pry off anything?
not stabbing him, just like the.
Well,
the
that was a
length of
pry.
blade.
That was a pry.
But I mean, yeah. I'm no leather worker, but you know, I tan to hide. So it's just trying to get it back to factory new conditions as best I can.
Okay. As far as the work with the knife, you every time you feel like you've made some progress, that you've chipped away some of this calcium build on there, it just seems like there's another layer just under. You've basically at this point kind of scraped a nice little pile of this bits of discarded sea life and salts and calcium. Doesn't seem to be making a huge difference in
Not out of frustration, but just I'm not making progress, so I'm gonna set this aside so that I can think on it, and I'll come back to it later.
All right, let's go back to camp, where the very quiet doctor has been.
I'm headed his way.
The doctor who could have joined in on swimming at any time, mind you.
Oh, that's fine. He's working. As you near my tent, you'll hear a and there's like smoke billows out from either end of the tent and up and around, and swearing. Lots of swear words that shouldn't be around children, and the tent flap opens, and more smoke comes out, and I've got my goggles down.
Doctor, are you all right?
Yo, yes. Who's there? Oh, Kira.
What are you
how was your
doing?
swim? Oh, brewing.
More ale?
No. The ale's brewing, but that's not what was blowing up in there. Just more formulas going wrong. I've lost my master manual, so I'm having to try and remake a lot of my old concoctions from memory, which is a bit Swiss cheese-ish since coming here.
Oh. Well.
How was your swim? Everybody
Uh,
sufficiently clean?
I think so. For once, blessedly, yes. Are you going to partake at some point? I imagine you were as messed up as the rest of us.
I've cleaned. I have a tonic for that.
I say Casimir kind of peeks in towards and goes, "You smell like a dragon," and kind of goes about her business.
Oh, yes. Salem has something to... He hopes clean dragon scent off of us. That might be something to look into.
Well, I will ask him. I need to return something to him anyways, so I will, I'll ask him if he'll rub me with his special scent thing.
Just your clothes. Not all of you.
Oh, well, it's our skin. It has a scent, but
Is it something your tonic would cover?
Oh, that reminds me, your marking on your arm. Do you still have that, or did that go away?
Oh, I very much do. I haven't put a gauntlet on yet, so it's easy enough for me to just pull back my sleeve. I was looking at it a bit earlier.
Do you like looking at it or having people see it?
No, it's very strange to me, but if somebody can shed more light on it.
I have a way of perhaps shedding less light on it, if that's something of interest. And hold on, and I'll go back in my tent. You'll hear like glasses tinking, and yes, here it is. And I come out with this vial with this morphing. It shimmers in different. As I bring it out into the light, it shimmers and changes colors. Here, take some of this and rub it on there. Rub it on your skin, on your arm.
All right. I unstopper it and I drop a little on my arm and start rubbing.
Put my goggles back down. Oh, look, it's working. Good. So as you rub it on your arm and you see at first it's like a brownish, greenish liquid. And as you spread it out, you see, as you spread it over the markings, unless they take their own defense against that, you'll see the brownish and green starts to change color to be the exact tone of your skin, and it leaves behind nothing. When you rub it over, it slowly changes color until it matches your skin perfectly and covers over the markings.
How long does this last?
You might want to apply a little every day, at least until we figure out what's going on. And if you want, when you need to hide it, you don't have to do it all the time. If you're wearing a sleeve, that's fine. But if you need to hide it, try a little of that. It's it's actually part of an essence of a concoction that I used to brew to create. Have you ever heard of a cloak of elvenkind?
I believe I have. Something rather powerful.
Yeah, I used to be able to make those.
Oh.
And this is part of that formula. It's not quite right. It might smell like licorice, but don't eat it.
Well, I like licorice, so that works. I appreciate it. It wasn't quite what I was expecting, but yes, I'll hold on to that.
Yeah, it's not much. It's in the testing phase. I'm working on it.
Thank you.
So what did I miss with the group bathing activity?
A lot of brigade throwing people, and a few interesting conversations. Bronlin and Salem have a particular interest in the nearby tree. And Regain told us why he cannot drink. He told us about you offering him ale.
Is it a religious thing, or?
It is a matter of safety. If he loses control, bad things happen, so best not to get on the tipsy side. And by bad things happening, I don't mean he just would get angry. I mean, there might be a hurricane or something. I'm not quite sure. At any rate. Do you have
So-
something? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, so there was sharing involved.
Yes.
What were you going to ask?
I was going to ask if you have something that can induce sleep quickly.
Oh,
Sorry.
yes. Yes. We're talking temporary sleep, right?
Yes.
Good. I figured as much. I just wanted to make sure. And I go back in, thinking, and yeah, this should work. I come out and hand you a small vial. Wait. And I feel my bandolier for the poisoner's vial. Yeah, okay. Yeah, there you go.
You're positive?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Stuff gets mixed up in there sometimes with all the smoke. I wish I had better ventilation.
Yes. You might want to work on a labeling system or something like that.
I want to say every time you touch the poisoner's vial, you can almost just hear that voice. The first one's free.
Shut up! I look back at Corvix. Shut up, Corvix. Stop. You don't have to mimic his voice every time I touch it. Anyways, what was I going to say? Oh, labeling system. Yes, I used to have quite an extensive labeling system, and everything was laid out very nice in my shop.
But it would be more problematic keeping it portable.
Someday if I return home, or no, it's probably burned down by now. Yeah. Someday, I'd like maybe I'll open another shop.
Go back to being the healer for the town.
What's that? I'm sorry.
And go back to being the healer for the town.
Yes. D-Stock. It's where I'm from, if you were.
Dear stock.
Though I can't imagine I'd be welcome there again. Someday, maybe. You were gonna say something.
Just that there's always a way. And where to start again. Anyway, I'm going to sleep. Otherwise, my magic is running low. And I have a feeling it's going to be needed shortly.
Don't ingest all of it. Sniff it.
Sniff it?
Yes. The vapors that come from it. Don't ingest it.
All right.
You can ingest it if you want to have a very vivid dreams that could possibly leave you in a alternate dream dimension.
That is absolutely not what I'm after, thank you.
Yes. But, yeah.
Will somebody be able to wake me if needed?
8 hours and you'll wake.
Yes, but should anything happen, can anyone wake me?
Yes, sniff it lightly, and they'll be able to wake you, and you'll sleep. It'll be deepish sleep.
Right. Thank you, Doctor. and I'll just go over to my tent. And I'll open the flap and I'll go in and I'll sit and consider what I've been given. And I'll uncork it and I'll just the second I get any whiff of what's inside, I'll cap it back again.
You! And I'll point to Casimir. Come here. I need you to do something for me. Go back into my tent.
Stands very much like at attention.
I come back out. Do you wanna really prank some of these kids you're with tonight?
Strokes her chin.
Or other members of the party that you might enjoy razzing?
No, they can fight, but tell me more.
Yeah, but they won't fight you. You're a child. But here.
She recalls the look in Regain's eyes over at that one kid.
They won't hurt you. You're small, so they feel obligated to not hurt you, which is justified. Take this, and I hand her a little canister. When you open it, actually, when you press this down, this will make, you're old enough to know what expanding means, right?
Mm-hmm.
Gets bigger. When you pour this in somebody's hand, it'll expand rapidly. It's a foam of pleasant smells. And do you still have some of those feathers?
She's currently in a series of towels.
Not on you now, but with your stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Take one of those feathers from the harpies, and after you've put the stuff in their hand, tickle their nose while they're sleeping. And you can thank me later. And I put my goggles back down and go back into my tent without even a word.
She's staring at the little canister. Remember, you smell like dragon.
Oh, right.
Kind of exits your tent.
When Casimir returns, I'm telling the kids a scary story.
I'm going to say, at this point, the sun is right at that little last bit of setting. The fires that were previously lit by Bronlin are now just a beautiful glow breaking the night. And before we get into this ghost story that I'm thoroughly curious to
you're
hear.
going to make me do it? Okay.
It's up to you.
I was going to do like the tail end of it when Kura walked by, but she went directly into her tent.
I'm sure it's background. The night is still young. All right, I think we're going to take a quick break, just shorty, and then we're going to be right back and see where this all goes.
Okay.
Back.
All right. Good to be back. Good to be back. I want to give a quick shout out and a thank you to Fable Forge RPG. I'm so glad you could join us and bring the friends. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Around the campfire.
Indeed. Only water. It began to shiver and quake. And it rose from it was a gigantic dragon turtle. And it stared at the entire crew. And it beckoned to them. What have you brought me? For tribute. And everyone on the crew looked at him and said, we are but humble fishermen. We don't have anything to give you. And the turtle spoke. Then you will be the tribute. And so it opened its mouth. And from it came a boiling water mist as it cooked all of them alive, melting a portion of the ship with it. And it opened its clawed beak and jumped on the ship and brought it down in one fell swoop, dragging them to the depths below. Okay, was that a good story or what?
A lot of these kids are just kind of frozen. One of them does a bit of a lean towards the others. We don't live near any oceans, right? The kid kind of does a shrug.
Oh, you're fine. You're not near the ocean. Where I'm from, I'm near the ocean. I deal with a lot of water creatures. And then I open my shirt and I say, this is from a giant alligator, and I show them the teeth where I definitely got death rolled.
The kids are thrilled. They're always like looking and pointing.
Like, that's the only real big scar. The rest I got tattoos for things that I give. Because right in the teeth marks is a gigantic alligator. Just like, and this is from when I ate a shark that was trying to eat me in the ocean. I just go across the collarbone and show them the tattoos of a shark teeth. And this, as I point at the snail shell that's shaped like a skull, it was a giant snail. I'm not going to lie. It was a gigantic snail, and it knocked me out. It knocked me out. It hit me 5 times in a row. Its eyes would shit like, and he just starts going, and I just started going into this whole thing. Okay, so I woke up immediately. Someone woke me up. I'm like, oh, I gotta get this snail, and I kill it. I picked it up, and I threw it, and I stabbed it in it. But my greatest shame was getting knocked out by. They call it a flail snail. Granted, it made me look small. I would reckon even the dragon would have a hard time with a flail snail.
Oh, chatting back and forth. And you hear amongst the chatter and mumblings, "Oh, big kid's awesome."
My name is Brigade. I am not a kid. Don't call me Big Kid anymore. I don't like the name.
You see a lot of faces straighten. You see a couple of them like pointing over to the one kid who said it. Just ratting out instantly.
Oh, you don't have to point at me. I know your face. And I just slowly back into my lean-to, and I just let the sheet come down as I stare at him the entire time. And then I gesture at the sword that I was just like, you don't know how to fight. And then I just close it.
All right.
Thank you for letting me
Thank
terrorize
you.
children.
I'm pretty sure that's what this game is all about.
Realms of Dread, terrorizing children. Who would have thought?
So, is there any sort of rhyme or reason to that script on there?
Yeah, if you could give me a minute, uh, just trying to see where to start.
Sure. Um, Not really sure that I can make heads or tails of it, but yeah, no, absolutely.
I kind of like trace my fingers with like the grooves of the bark and look for a starting place to start reading. And it's been a couple years since I've studied.
Give me a religion check.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. So the tricky part with a lot of Ogham and the druids in their way is it is, even for the experience, it's difficult to see where a story starts and where one ends. For a lot of things, the not work being an obvious example, that there seems to be a continuous ebb and flow and a spiral, or a story may, in the right light, somehow end upon its beginning. So you're having trouble basically at this point trying to figure out where to start. However, that graze with your finger against the tree, you are still feeling just the immense energy just kind of pouring into your hand. You can just feel that tingle all the way up the arm and into your chest.
Salem, this might take a little bit more time than I anticipated. I really only studied to become a druid for one reason, and I kind of fell out of practice, and I start fidgeting a little bit and scratching my shoulders, arms. I really fell out of practice, so it might take a while.
Oh, we have time. Not going anywhere. And I placed my hand on your shoulder. Perhaps if we... And I understand that not every language is like this, but is there a literal translation for some of these words into common? That way I can help with piecing things together.
I'm gonna look over to DM.
As
assist mechanically, maybe.
I'm gonna say, from some of the trails that you were following in the script, it seemed more of poetry than an actual incantation or a spell. Again, you were kind of following wrong trails as you're reading, or following different ones than you were hoping to. So, it has referenced several gods. You've come across, terms like the deep earth, once or twice as you follow the path. But, nothing that's easy to outright translate.
I kind of point and trace and point out the different gods that I see, and I point out deep earth. And now, it was Bergain who said there was something under the lake.
Right. And I know roughly where it was he was talking about in that last throw. I tried to take a look around. I'm not overly confident of my abilities to search the depths of that. But perhaps he, or if you said that you could hold your breath for a minute or two, right? Maybe you'll have better luck.
Maybe I mean it's not a lost cause. Do you think maybe you could give me kind of a boost into
Yeah. I'll lace my fingers over my knee.
and pop up to the nearest branch? Because you did say last week it was climbable, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And I'm not just trying to get a free camp experience by climbing the tree. Gonna look.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The limbs are wide enough for you to easily, plant your feet. You notice that the script still just seems to bloom and blossom and swirl around the trunk as you make your way up.
Do I see any animals, any signs of animals living around the tree?
Give me a nature check. I'm gonna make you work for these.
It's a 4 again.
One of these days
You
it
can
will
see.
be.
Roll actual dice.
Yeah.
You don't see any sort of tracks so much. It seems like the wood itself is probably too hard for something, like a claw or a paw to really dig into the bark of this tree. So actually finding a direct animal might be a little tricky. At least signs of an animal is a little tricky here.
Okay. How tall is the tree?
It goes up quite a ways. It clearly stands out above the rest of the forest around.
Okay. I make note to come back tomorrow and see if I can climb to the top, just to see what's around. But I climb back down to Salem, and I purse my lips, and I look up, and I shake my head no.
Mm. Well, I guess we'll have our time here. No shame in it. We're just starting out. You mentioned that you only took up the druidic practices for one reason. Would you mind share that?
I look down at my feet, and when I look up, you can tell that there's just maybe a tear or two coming down. I think I mentioned my brother Kit. When we were young, he was bitten by a werewolf, and I started just studying so he didn't have to be alone all the time, because we're twins and he shouldn't have to be. Mom and Dad locked him up every month, and I just wanted to be there for him, and didn't study much outside of that. didn't think I had to. It's not, it's, we baked and had normal lives, just outside of that little blemish.
Of course. I understand. It can be rough having things that are outside of your control, trying to gain a measure of control over them. I appreciate you telling me. Is this something that you would wish to remain between the two of us?
I mean, it's not like a secret. I mean, also haven't told anyone. I think I'll tell people on my own time, when I feel good and comfortable with them. Thank you.
Fair enough. I think we're all familiar with that kind of situation in our own way within our particular party. I don't think people will be too adverse to learn. It does make me wonder though, with what we've learned about Brigade, about yourself and myself, and there's a little that I know about Kura. We still have heard nothing about the doctor.
He seems to be extremely quiet and doesn't necessarily want to share.
He doesn't act without emotion. It's just, yeah. I have something to collect from him. Might ask him about it. You're welcome to join me if you'd like. But since our business is done here, you might want to head back to camp.
At the mention of I'm welcome to join collecting something from the doctor, I kind of purse my lips, but I move away so you can't really see that and say, let's go back. Was that kid screaming?
The moment you mentioned going back, you hear something in the tree, more so the limb that you were just standing on briefly. You hear a bit of a rustle, and you hear a
Salem, there wasn't anything up there just a second ago. As I look up.
As you look up, you see you see an elf that seems to be older than the other counselors that you've seen. This one clearly has some years behind her, but you're not sure if it's a magical essence or maybe the type of armor, but she herself just seems to cast off a bit of a moonlight to her. There's just a sort of a soft white glow to her. It's kind of hard to pick up. The more you try to focus on it, it seems just a bit confusing. Like, you may try to focus on, well, is it, a piece of jewelry, and then just it seems to fade from where you're thinking it would be.
Apologies, didn't see you there. May we be of assistance?
No, I'm afraid I don't think you have that privilege currently. She drops down for you. Just kind of looking over Bronlin a bit. I'm glad you're taking the step towards learning. I will not question why you chose to follow the path that you did. That's irrelevant. The fact is you're on the path now, and that's what's important.
I do at least 3 steps back. And my brows are furrowed. And I don't say anything.
Look back at Roland. Hand goes to the hip where the easiest to access knife is, and I'm just giving a look of like danger, enemy, ? With my face. To Bronwyn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna remind you, you only have 1 knife left right now because
I know. I am aware.
Okay.
And I look over and I mouth, "Not an enemy," with an eyebrow raised. I don't like being spied on. I find that incredibly rude. But also, I don't know what the heck is happening with this camp.
You see her brow lift up. Spied on.
Oh, I didn't say that. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
That was me relaying my emotions.
Got you.
What is it that you have for... Sorry, what is your intent for my friend here?
To continue to push her on the path, to make sure she can be what she needs to be.
Right, hi. My name is Bronlin, and my pronouns are they, them, theirs. Pleased to make your acquaintance. And I say it pretty rude. I know I've not met this person, but I don't like being misgendered.
My apologies. Shan't happen again.
And, you are?
She holds a finger and moves over towards the tree.
I give Salem a look like, who the fuck?
You're sure not an enemy?
No.
Is this the spirit of the tree? I'm sorry, I'm not there.
I'm sorry, it's a little hard to pronounce. Did I say that right?
She is completely ignored. You will come back tomorrow, and you will learn to read this. And if you fail, you will come back the following night. And again, and again. Is this understood?
I flare my nostrils a lot. Now, normally I don't like being told what to do. This is not the way to a good relationship. But goddamn it, I want to read this fucking tree. And with that, I turn around and walk away.
I suppose we'll be seeing you on the morrow.
Till tomorrow.
And I follow up Bronwyn. I get your vexation, but you're right. Their goals equal to ours. Motivation matters little right now.
Salem, I don't know where she appeared from. I'd been right there.
We both were.
I am. starting to like this camp a little less.
In an ironic twist, it's starting to feel more like what I know. And I don't say that in any point of joy. In terms of a note, Bronwyn was there when I gave the doctor my knife, so they know why. Like it, and I think we covered too. There's like, I gave it to him just to give him something to do. That wasn't so. Like we did cover what I'm going to collect from him. Like I said, let's get back to camp. We'll go speak with the doctor. Turn in for the night.
I nod and follow. Frolicking.
You are. It may have just been the encounter. It may have just set your nerves on edge, but you're positive you hear movement in the trees just behind you. Not so heavy as a person, but sort of like the scampering of an animal, like what could have been a squirrel. No, that sounds like a owl. That sounds more like the flutter of wings. No, I'm positive that was a fox on the ground. And every time you look, you are not catching a glimpse of anything. You're just hearing various scampering that seems to change every time you stop long enough to think about it.
We don't like being followed. I don't know that will actually keep them away, but at least we've made our point clear.
I'm just looking around.
That campfire now seems so far away, doesn't it?
I would like to just put out there, Brigade's not going to sleep until he knows that those two are back.
The doctor's standing at the fire, actually talking to the kids.
I'm in my lean-to, but I'm just kind of every now and then you just see it. You see that, and then people just hear scribbling and drawing from inside of his tent.
I am asleep.
Oh yeah.
So you are
Knocked out. Gone.
that NyQuil sleep.
all right. As far as you're aware, the sounds don't seem to be as close as they were originally. You can obviously hear the sounds of animals and movement because you are out in the middle of the woods at night. But the directly behind you seems to have ceased.
Well, I guess it wouldn't have been a surprise to no one where we were sleeping.
Was that right? Did you hear that? That was very loud. It sounded right behind us.
And I have my
big cats
my
in these
out.
woods.
Real big cats. Just to have my knife out ever since like the scampering that was like right behind us, the lone knife left that I have, it's just out and like just turning it over end in my hand. They did seem to back off a little bit, at least. Say, doctor, do you have a moment?
As you come up, the doctor's fully engrossed all the children and staff. As I began tucking my daughter into bed, she tells me Daddy, could you check under the bed for monsters? To put her at ease. I said, sure, sweetie. And I lowered down to look under the bed. Just for her amusement. And I see her under the bed, looking at me, another her. She's staring at me, quivering. And in the smallest voice, she whispers, Daddy, there's somebody up in my bed.
And Brigane comes out of his tent behind him and just grabs him and starts roaring at the children.
Oh, jeez.
So between the two of you, you've got the entire ring around the fire screaming.
Yes. I wasn't gonna jump in, but that was a perfect moment for another person to jump in. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Do I wake up? I'm serious. Do I wake up? That's a lot of screaming.
Con save with disadvantage?
That seems reasonable.
A con save? Oh, geez. Have I had to make one of these yet?
Probably not.
Okay. I rolled a 15 both times, so 17.
I feel like this is a totally a DM call right here.
Yeah, because generally we would assume that a higher constitution roll would mean you're not affected by your environment.
Mm-hmm.
So presumably you're still asleep.
Some good stuff.
Did I grab you too hard?
That was wonderful. Thank you.
Okay. I did it as gently as I could. I did it around their waist. I don't know why you ran out of breath. Sorry. And I put
you scared the crap out of me. You are a rather imposing figure, and
it's so you were right outside my tent. I saw the opportunity. I felt like it needed a little bit more, just a little bit more oomph to get the kids.
I look around at all the kids and staff like,
how many of the staff took off running?
Not running. You saw a little bit of a clutch to a couple. But for the most part, you see a little bit of, that nod of good on you, and you can see.
I know it was
another one just trying to remember how to pull off this story.
I know Anta was not affected. Anta did not feel anything, and then I just, like, while I'm putting the doctor down, I just look. Oh, you're back.
Yeah. A compelling story. So, we didn't learn a whole lot. Though I think maybe some later time. Doctor, you have something for me? Just told me to return later.
oh yes, yeah. Let me go grab it. I'll go over to my tent, open the flaps, come out with your knife. Yes, here you go. And I will go to hand it to you and huck it behind me into the woods.
You realize you're going to be going to get that, right?
It's so old-fashioned, my friend. Simply raise your hand up and flick your wrist.
All right. I do so.
Right to your hand. from out of the woods. Like somebody threw it perfectly into your hand. Not blade first.
Into your hand, not into your hand.
A little heavier, but with the different.
Oh, I'm gonna have to work on that.
Science.
A little heavier on the tip, but I think I can compensate. Considering
it's definitely something that's going to help your current deficit of daggers.
Yeah.
Especially if you can just call it back to you.
Of course.
I'll need to. I'll need to reapply every 24 hours, but.
All right.
At this
But
point,
it's a simple matter.
say Casimir has wandered over to Braun and grasped at their hand. How'd it go?
Yeah. So we'll be back tomorrow. It was just a bit too dark out.
Do you need me to go? I got a dagger.
No, sweetheart. I think maybe it's about your bedtime.
You can see they're just trying to calculate a good excuse to not go to bed.
How about this? You go to bed, and early in the morning, while they're making breakfast, I'll show you how to clean it. And I point at the knife that they've got, that she has in her hand.
While the cleaning doesn't seem to be the most alluring offer,
It's
meets you halfway.
there's
Makes
more.
the way towards the tent.
It's a nice ritual. Don't you worry. So, Doctor,
Yes.
that story, I was able to catch the very end of it. And something about it intrigued me. You mentioned you had a daughter. I don't imagine the story was built around a whole lot of truth. But that got me wondering. Is there a family for you to return to?
Not really sure how to answer that. Not yet.
So you're looking to make a family once you get that?
No, not that either. I guess we're all sharing, aren't we? Yes, I have a family. I'm looking for them.
Might I ask how they got lost? I don't imagine you were walking one day and there was a hole in your pocket and they just slipped right through.
No, they were taken from me.
Do you know who?
There's varying degrees of correct answers to that question. One was we were attacked, and the other was of my own stupidity, hubris, blind, and I'm rubbing my hand as I'm talking at this massive scar that goes both sides of it, the one with the ring, the wedding ring on it. Because I was blind and stupid.
You seemed very eager to make a deal. The one that you more or less offered up from and soulful.
They made no such offer.
Veiled words do not hide your intention.
Let me ask you this. You consider it my deal was what was the reason for Bronlin's soul being put up for trade. I see that quite differently. I see it as she was going to take something of ours for her help in us transferring through these mists, one way or the other. I was trying to get something out of an already bad situation. Devils work in deals. They don't do things for free. Ever. She needed us for something.
That's true.
And so we made deals. We made a deal to look for her tokens. But the key to this whole thing is she was giving us tokens to go out and look. Would you trust some random schlub that came into your house, but you needed something from them, but you needed to give them something and you couldn't leave? Would you trust that person?
I don't believe it was a matter of trust. I believe it was a matter of she saw an opportunity, a third party, so to speak.
Now, you're on the right course, but take that and think, I'm going to give them the things that I have to transfer through the mists. What reason would they possibly have to come back and make good on this deal? I don't know these people. So she was going to take something. She wanted to take Casimir. Bronlin bravely stood up and traded their soul instead of Casimir.
Doctor, I feel you might be mistaking the order of events. The offer to make this transfer through the realms to acquire these trinkets for her, that happened all before the additional question where you wish to gain a little bit more out of this deal, which I don't blame you for. I don't blame that you wanted to get something additional. However, when the time came to even the scales on that, you offered absolutely nothing. And you left Casimir twisting in the wind. Who would have taken up but Bronwyn?
I don't know. I didn't know any of you from Boo, so I can't possibly imagine that we barely trusted each other at that point, let alone a devil trusting us with their task.
You understand how that can be interpreted differently, though. Correct?
I really don't, but I can no more control what others think of me than I can the wind.
Well, we do have a
as-
great difference in opinion. So, you have a very great deal of control over what others think of you. A great deal indeed.
Perhaps, but strangers at that point, of which we were, I would think you would agree. I mean,
I'll leave you to ponder that. And I mean, I was saying this knowing Bronwyn was right there with us, so I didn't, because I didn't move. I didn't go towards your tent or anything. I'm going to turn in. I do appreciate the work. Might get a little bit of practice in with this.
indeed.
Just, I think, something to ponder.
I'll ponder it, but I will also ask for the same in return. Ponder the larger picture. There was no way we were getting out of there if I didn't say a word without some sort of a deal being made.
I'll shrug and head over to my hammock.
I'll turn and look at Bronwyn. Bronwyn?
Not discreetly, not hiding the just like internal rage. I'll roll my eyes and just disregard the doctor.
And I'll turn and go into my tent.
Are there still kids around the fire?
No, at this point, the kids have all been brought to their own tents.
I do a cantrip, control flames, and I let the fire kind of just erupt, and then I immediately put it out. And I squeeze into a tent that isn't just overpacked with kids. And I sit on the ground.
You have your own, presumably, if you're willing to share with Casimir.
Yeah, I go and I lay by Casimir, and I just kind of look up at the tent with my hands crossed like this. And I fume for quite some time.
While Bourdain's been just in his tent, fully awake, listening to all of this and just like mapping out all the places he's been. When I don't hear any more voices outside and I notice the flame has gone out, I turn off the torch that I've had going, the little lantern that I've been using, and I go out and I move over to Kura's tent, and I've got my glaive with me, and I begin to slowly circle around it, muttering to myself in Giant. If anyone can speak Giant, or if they're still awake, they will probably understand me. And then I get back to the front of her tent, and I just look up to the sky, and I can say, It's been 4 years now. I've gone down a path that I never thought I would go. Because honestly, I didn't think I would go 4 years without you. There's still one more I need to find. One more that eludes me. And I feel shame now, because although it's been a short amount of time, I find myself seeing someone who brings out a part of me that you did. And I wish to protect her. And now I just wish you couldn't forgive me. And no one can see this, but a single tear leaves Brigane's eye as he looks up to the sky.
As it happens, the patter of rain starts to coat over the land in the area. You can hear the roll of thunder coming in. That is where we're going to stop for tonight.
Wait, before we stop. Is Kura's tent next to mine? Is it? I need to know.
No.
Roll a d20.
Is it close?
This was not a full-blown... Ah!
Is it close?
Stella!
The first thing I said was I was mumbling to myself. And also, for the first time, I stick my glaive in the ground in front of Kura's tent, and I sleep without it for the very first time in years. It's his good luck charm. It's his good luck charm.
The only thing I know about where my tent is that it's near Brigane's lean-to. I have no idea who else is where.
I think I'm on the other side of the lean-to. Like, the party sticks together.
I love that you're just going out of your way to try to be nosy as shit right now.
I love
Oh, man. So much. Oh, no, I totally remember. My tent was directly next to you.
The tent is sliding.
I don't want to be around these snotty-nosed 30-year-old kids. Ugh.
Just set up your own
Nasty.
hammock. I'm just up in a tree somewhere.
You're also about to be rained on.
Oh.
And?
That's fair.
Dude, I lived in the swamp for like a year plus. It's outdoors in the swamp.
My apologies.
It's fine.
Brigade allowed himself to feel for 1 second, and it started a torrential downpour.
How dare you, sir? Never again.
The second time he's cried.
No,
I was there the first time.
He was not of his right mind.
Also, in fairness, at that point, you were still surrounded by water.
Yes.
Mm.
All right, homies, we got some outro announcements.
Yes.
That was the biggest beg for, hey, can I just be right there, though?
Look, I said I was fuming for a long time, okay? Whatever.
You could hear movement outside of your tent. You don't know what it was pertaining to. You could not understand. You recognize possibly, you're pretty sure whose voice it was. But past that, you have no, you got nothing this go around.
Because I very much said I was speaking in giants.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
All right.
Yes.
I'll start us off with some quick quick reminders before we close out tonight. First of all, we have some other folks that we want you all to check out. Should definitely check out our friends at Dirty Deeds. So they moved recently to Wednesdays at 7 Eastern. Having saved the city of Newsire, the Fallen Star Company hits the road towards the Mournlands and their dreams to continue to haunt them. What dangers lie ahead within the blasted wastelands? Also, check out our friends of Elkin Weave every Tuesday just before the mists. They were on. You probably saw them if you hung out pretty much all night with us. And they are running with the legendary DM Eric Ming. The Velkin Weave have
yes, sure.
Yes, that's how it goes. And now for actual English, the Velkin Weave have to contend with a battle for luck between the gods of good and bad luck, while also investigating deep into the Underdark to find out what nefarious beings are perpetrating dark acts.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Games Tavern YouTube channel right now. Subscribing is free, and you don't miss any of the action and access to all of the shows and content. Your likes and positive comments on the videos help future adventurers find out about the shows.
No, we also
No, we're not done. No, we're not done.
We also want to thank Shard Tabletop.
We definitely want to thank Shard Tabletop.
We have been using them and we love them as their VTT. You can go to the link in the chat right now and check it out for yourself. It's amazing. We love it. Make sure you use the code TGTSHARD20 to get a 20% discount on all subscriptions. And now it's one of my favorite parts beyond the playing of the D&D. I get to say popcorn, and so does everyone else.
I don't know. This might be your favorite part.
It's potentially. I don't know. I like popcorn. Anyway, my name's Jess, y'all, and I get to play the wonderful Bronlyn every single Tuesday with this wonderful cast. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Just the Human. That's JESTHEHUMAN. I play a lot of Dead by Daylight, and sometimes I play Mario Kart. So give me a follow. I'm gonna popcorn it over to Matt.
Me? I'm Matt Fellman. You can find me on all the socials at Matt Fellman. Just all one word. No space. Makes it easy. And I play here. I play the Elven Artificer, the Doctor, and Alchemist. Yes. And right here with this wonderful cast every Tuesday. Make sure you come and check us out. Tell your friends. Bring a friend. Take a friend. It's one of those things. And I stream sometimes randomly. It's very random. So, and I'm going to popcorn it over down to Daryl. Well, down on my screen, but
I knew it was coming. Let me finish this thing because I'm going to say it at the end. I'm going to post it at the end of my thing. Hi, Bran. If you do an impression of me after this,
Yes.
Hello, I'm Daryl Dorsey. I played Brigade Stonebuild, your Rune Knight fighter, Goliath. You can find me on socials at mainly Twitter and Instagram at Mr_Daryl Dorsey. I'll put that in the chat, as well as here on Twitch at Daryl Sucks at Gaming. You can also find me kicking around on a podcast known as Treasures Untold Podcast, and coming up soon with a certain two people, a certain Vampire the Masquerade podcast that'll soon be announced in other places. And from there, I'll popcorn it over to Kyle.
Hi, I'm Kyle. Tonight I was Salem Klein, your resident human rogue. You can find me on Twitter at Lord Kyle K. You can also find me on Twitch now, since I recently started streaming at the Lord Kyle K, where I am currently tearing through the entirety of the mainline Final Fantasy games. I stream Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays, and I hope to see you all there. I will popcorn it over to Laura.
All right. Hi everyone, I'm Laura. I play Kura, the human Twilight Cleric, and you can find me on Twitter and on Twitch at Laura Perard. My name is squished together. You can find me on Instagram at Laura_Perard. And you can find me hanging around the Games Tavern Discord occasionally saying things. And I think Bran, right?
I think Bran too.
Okay.
I was tempted to do Daryl. I was actually more enamored with Matt. I noticed a lot of sound effects that went on in this one. Like it was fantastic. I am Bran. I have been your DM this evening. You can find me at Voice of Bran if you want to hear about D&D stuff. If you want to see what I do during the rest of my time, you can follow Spirit of the Wilds, like Spirit O, like top O of the morning to you. Where our candles are just like me, look good, smell good, and all natural.
Oh my.
Yes.
Was that somebody laughing at you?
Just everybody.
Oh, I thought that was somebody on your end laughing.
Not on my
like
end.
off screen.
All right.
Okay.
Thank
I
you
hear
all very
George
much for
Takei
joining
in the
us. We're going to be back next week with something a little different. I don't know if I can say yet, but it's going to be pretty sweet. Let me tell you. So check us out. Check us out. It's going to be awesome. And until then,
PCs are gonna get murdered.
Oh my.
Okay, see y'all next
spoiler.
Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
See you
Good
next
night.
Tuesday.